In today's business tip, we're going to be talking about the service business value triangle. Now, this advice doesn't necessarily apply to all business sectors. We will be giving some other tips for restaurants, for retail, for wholesale, some other things that I have a lot of experience in. But for today, we're going to be talking about service businesses and the value triangle. So let's take a look at the triangle here. And what we're talking about is low prices, fast service, and high quality. Now, my advice right from the get-go is that you need to pick two of these and bear down on those. If you're trying to provide all three of these, you're not going to be able to for very long. You can provide it for a while, but after a while, you're going to be building expectations in your customers that they're going to get all three of these points, that they're going to get high quality, you'll be there lightning fast, and they're going to get a really low price. And in my personal opinion, and in a couple of decades of experience in service businesses, I'm telling you that you can't provide all three of these for very long. Okay, so you need to pick going into it which ones you're going to be strong in. And my personal opinion is that low prices don't really have a place in service businesses. Okay, so it's generally the mark of a young entrepreneur, a new business owner, if they tell you that they're going to compete in price. I'm going to go out there and undercut everybody and I'm going to get all this business. Well, that kind of business you may not necessarily want. If you're taking low value business from other contractors, that's not going to work out good for you. And I promise in a couple of years, you're going to have a business that's not going very well. You're wondering why your customers are giving you grief all the time. You're not fast enough. You're not cheap enough. The work's not good enough. Well, if you're pursuing all 3 points on that triangle, that's the kind of customers that you're going to end up with. Let's talk about high quality. I think that is a non-negotiable point. If you're in the service business, you should have the goal of giving the very highest quality that you can every single time. Every service call, every day, with every technician, you should be given high quality, period. Now, low prices, it's a great business model for other business sectors. Retail, for instance, if you have dozens or hundreds of locations, then you can probably negotiate a great wholesale price for whatever retail object it is that you're selling, okay? But the equivalent of that in the service business is labor, right? If you're giving low prices to the customer, chances are you're paying really low prices to your people, your technicians, your employees, and long term, that's probably not going to go very well for you. So let's not get so caught up in the low prices. My suggestion is that you do sufficient market research, that you determine what the low price is, what the medium price is, and what the top shelf price is, and you shoot for the lower middle if you're starting out. You got to give yourself some room to incrementally notch up every year, and you really should be doing small price increases fairly regularly just to keep your customers kind of used to that, right? I mean, the cost of everything else isn't staying the same. Inflation is going up all the time. So you should build that into your prices and ability to go up, okay? So if you're the low cost and you're way down here, it's going to take you a long time to adjust, and with every plateau that you go up, you're going to be catching grief from those low-cost people that are wanting to keep you into the lower prices, but you're trying to give faster service and higher quality. It's not going to work out. But let's talk about the fast service. That should be something that you consider early on, and you consider how fast of a service that you want to give. Now, some service businesses, that's part of the model. A lot of plumbers, electricians, and so forth, they'll give the 1 hour service or same day service or half off or whatever their offering is. They're able to give that kind of service because they have proper administration. They have receptionists. They have somebody who's scheduling and putting those people where they're supposed to be at every minute of the day. And also they have extra technicians. You can't give 1 hour service if all your technicians are already on calls and they're out there doing work for people. Then what are you going to do? Call them up, hey, leave that job and go to another? That doesn't quite work out. Generally what happens is there's technicians sitting in the shop and then they get scheduled to go out job by job so that they can be there in an hour from when the call comes in. Now, those companies generally exist in that top shelf pricing. Okay, so if you have the personnel and experience, you can go for that, but chances are if you're there, you're probably not going to be the guy watching this video. You're probably starting off and just getting your business going. So I'm saying that let's adjust what your initial offerings are so that you don't create this expectation going in.